Tonight, we speak to the conscience of the world, to the leaders of the United States, Malaysia, and every member of ASEAN, with the weight of blood and betrayal in our voice. Just hours ago, Thailand shattered the solemn agreement signed in Kuala Lumpur with an act of unspeakable, brutal aggression against our Cambodian citizens. We anchor this report on two devastating truths: the unprovoked shooting of Cambodian civilians and the unilateral cancellation of the US-backed peace agreement. Cambodia is a peace-loving country. Thailand is a collapsing military regime that chooses conquest over conduct. Unfortunately, at this moment, it seems that maybe the peace is over. This Wednesday afternoon, here on a sunny November afternoon, the world witnessed the tragic result of uncontrolled military aggression. In an act of monstrous aggression, Thai soldiers crossed into Cambodian sovereign territory and opened fire on our Cambodian civilians in Prachan village, Banti Menchay province. This unprovoked attack now has resulted in one confirmed fatality, a life that was unjustly extinguished, and 4 other civilians left wounded and bleeding on sovereign Cambodian soil. Let me be clear, this bloodshed is the calculated action of a military regime that uses force the moment diplomacy demands accountability. Let me say it again. This bloodshed is the calculated action of a military regime that uses force as soon as they realize that actual diplomacy demands accountability, and it's an accountability that they are unwilling to give. The blood on our Cambodian border is the physical consequence of what is also a political betrayal orchestrated days ago in Bangkok. Thailand unilaterally ordered the suspension of the Kuala Lumpur peace accords, the agreement secured by international witnesses just 1 month ago. Today, we condemn the official statements that have been used to justify this monumental reversal. Their Prime Minister, Anutin Charnvirakul, told the world that he suspended the deal because the security threat has not decreased as we thought it would. Let me give you some context for this. Thai soldiers walking through well-known minefields stepped on a landmine. There were injuries to his foot. Of course, it's unfortunate. Any injury, any loss of human life is unfortunate. What are they doing walking through well-designated, well-known, well-demarcated minefields? And now because of this, they're saying that they are going to suspend the deal. This is nothing but a lousy excuse. We must ask, was this threat supposed to decrease when you refuse to release the 18 prisoners? This is a false narrative. It's a pretext for aggression. The cancellation of this accord proves that the Thai military regime operates outside of the constraints of civilized conduct. They signed the document, listen carefully, for political optics, and they tore it up the moment it demanded restraint. This political betrayal has catastrophic humanitarian consequences as well as political consequences. As you may know, Cambodia has 18 soldiers that are being held hostage in Thailand. And there was a planned release of these 18 captured Cambodian soldiers. Now Thailand has immediately halted the planned release of our Cambodian 18 captured soldiers. Listen, they're being used as human shields in absolute violation of the Geneva Conventions. In addition, all joint landmine clearance, all withdrawal of the BM-21 grads and heavy artillery, all steps that have been meant to secure further peace, which is Cambodia's heart desire, have now been frozen by Thailand. Thailand has unilaterally, on their own, of their own accord, plunged the border back into the state of active hostility, wherever you are around the world. It doesn't matter what your understanding or your political views would be, and it's not about one ethnicity versus another ethnicity. It's about peace and the rule of law. We ask you to use your voice to stand on the side of peace. Look, here in Cambodia, we are a peace-loving country, and it's not about one ethnicity being better than another ethnicity. But unfortunately, whoever's calling the shots over there in Thailand and the support that they're receiving is a blatant violation to international law, and it has no relation to peace. It is only military aggression with the ultimate goal of seizing Cambodian sovereign territory. Call it out for what it is, wherever you are around the world. It's important to point out that Thai society is collapsing under the weight of chronic political factionalism and unchecked military interference. With a long history of coups in Thailand, the military views itself as the supreme protector of the state, placing itself above civilian governance, and now it's very clear that they're also placing themselves above international law. The internal collapse of Thailand is fueled by hateful, racist, and extremist ideologies. Don't you hate racism? Don't you hate extremism? Don't you agree that it should have no place in this day and age? But unfortunately, the collapse that we're seeing in Thailand is fueled by hateful, racist, and extremist ideologies that have been given free rein in large portions of the Thai political structure, providing the justification for brutal actions like the shooting of our Cambodian civilians. The world cannot mistake this situation. Thailand is using military force as a tool of domestic politics. Just a month ago, the Kuala Lumpur Peace Accords was signed. But unfortunately for Thailand's part, it was only for their political optics. And when it was time for them to release the Cambodian captives and for them to abide by the disarmament, they tore it up. These are the powerful, unwavering words of Prime Minister Hun Manet, educated in the United States, United Kingdom, and a great leader here in Cambodia. I want to point out that the Cambodian people have no desire for conflict or for war or for taking anything from any of our neighbors. We just want to live in peace and with what we have. Cambodia, over the decades, like many nations around the world, has gone through tragedy and war. At this day and age, under the good leadership of the Cambodian government, Prime Minister Hun Manet, we have no desire to aggress on anybody. We have no desire to take anything from any neighboring country or any other country. We just want to live in peace. The peace that Cambodia has been hard-earned. And this is a very special era in Cambodian history where for the first many decades, in several hundred years, Cambodia has cherished and built a country based on peace. Prime Minister Hun Manet delivered this response to this evening's or this afternoon's aggression. This is an unofficial English translation, but he said that he condemns the use of violence by the Thai side on innocent Cambodian civilians in Prachan village on the evening of November 12th, 2025, which injured 3 innocent Cambodian civilians and tragically killed 1 person. This is This act is against international humanitarian law as well as international law. And it fundamentally violates the past agreements that have been used to resolve the border issues peacefully, especially the approval of the JBC, Joint Border Commission mechanism, to measure and provide temporary border markers where the status quo should be maintained until the measurements are completed. Today's aggression into Cambodian territory was a direct violation of this. Prime Minister Hun Manet goes on to say, he says he calls on Thailand to immediately stop using force on innocent Cambodian civilians in Praychan village, as well as stop using force to resolve any border issues between the countries. Prime Minister Hun Manet is also requesting an independent investigation into this case. We're open to independent investigation. And a call for the participation of foreign parties, skilled foreign parties, to find the truth, accountability, and justice for the citizens affected by this shooting. At the same time, Prime Minister Hun Manet has said that he requests all local Cambodian authorities and armed forces to take immediate action to protect our Cambodian citizens, especially to prioritize their safety and their lives. Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Manet has also reiterated that Cambodia remains steadfast in the peaceful resolution based on the spirit of the Kuala Lumpur Joint Statement from October 26, 2025. Move towards ending any conflict and building peace between the two countries. The blood spilled on our border today is proof that the stability of Southeast Asia is hanging by a thread. The failure of governance in Thailand is now a crisis for the entire region. So wherever you are, the world, we need your intervention. Intervene for the sake of peace. Intervene now, before this isolated incident sparks a regional conflagration. Thank you for joining us tonight. We'll keep you updated here shortly. Coming to you live from Phnom Penh, Cambodia, I'm Jesse McCall, signing off from the studio of Triang News.
ត្រយ៉ងនាំសារពិតគ្រប់ទីកន្លែង